Hello, I am Dhruva and welcome back to my channel, Zach Rules 1979. Today I am going to take you through a journey in New York City. First we'll go to the Ground Zero and 9/11 Museum. Then we'll go to the One World Observatory and then the Oculus Building, then the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and finally Times Square. Right now I am at Ground Zero. The 9/11 attack happened on September 11, 2001, and it nearly killed 3,000 people. This is the old picture of the Twin Towers which were hit by planes in September 11, 2001. National September 11 Memorial and Museum is a memorial and museum in New York City commemorating the September 11, 2001 attacks, which killed nearly 3,000 people. The memorial is located in the World Trade Center site, the former location of the Twin Towers that were destroyed during the September 11 attacks. These are the names of all the people who died in the attacks. People still come here to mourn and put flowers in their names. It is operated by a non-profit institution whose mission is to raise funds for holding programs and operate the memorial and museum at the World Trade Center site. Why don't we go in and have a look? Ready? Let's go. In July 2008, the survivor staircase was lowered to bedrock, making it the first artifact to be moved into the museum. The stairs served as an escape route for hundreds of evacuees from 5 World Trade Center, a 9-floor building adjacent to the 110-story towers. These are the beams that the plane hit. You can see that the beams started to melt because of all the excessive heat. Let's go to the One World building now. This is the view you would get from the outside. Let's go and check out the inside. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people visit the One World Observatory for that once-in-a-lifetime view of New York City. From the top of the One World Trade Center, guests can marvel at a 360-degree view of Manhattan, the East River, the Brooklyn Bridge, and New York Harbor, all the while staying indoors. The One World Trade Center, which houses the observatory on floors 100 to 102, has an important connection to the rest of Ground Zero. Completed in 2014, it was built in the wake of 9/11 to restore the World Trade Center and bring back business into the area. You can see an extraordinary view of New York City. This view is from up in the One World Observatory. You can see 2 bridges here. The one on the left is the Manhattan Bridge, which is newer, and the one on the right is the Brooklyn Bridge, which is older. The building is often referred to as the Freedom Tower as it represents the perseverance of the city and the country's ideals of freedom and independence. Fun fact, at 1,776 feet tall, its height matches the year of America's birth. After the visit, you will board a Skypod for a trip through time and space. Created in association with Universal Studios, the special Skypod elevators are covered inside with LCD screens on which you will watch the changing face of New York from the 1600s to today while ascending 102 floors in just 42 seconds, which is the fastest time in the Western Hemisphere. Now let's go to the Oculus. Across the Memorial Plaza from One World Trade Center is the Oculus. a transportation hub and shopping mall inside one of New York's most unique buildings. We're now in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the same museum which was also stated as the background in the book from the mixed-up files of Mr. Basil E. Frankweiler. The carvings above my head are from India, specifically Gujarat. You can see the beautiful wooden carvings of the gods and the demigods above my head here. Now let's go to the Egyptian part of the museum. The temple sort of thing that you can see is actually the Temple of Dendur. These are now some of the actual mummies or pharaohs' burial tombs or boxes that they used back then. Those are the models of the boats that they used to transport the mummies. The coffins that they used for the mummies is called a sarcophagus. In this picture, you can see that they broke open the sarcophagus so that you're able to see the mummy that is wrapped inside. Some sarcophaguses have jewelry attached to them, which indicates that the mummy is a very high-powered person. You can see vases and sculptures of people that they recovered from inside the rooms that the mummies were buried in. You can also see the hieroglyphs that they recovered from the chamber, which is just the room that they buried the mummy in. Hieroglyphs are a form of ancient Egyptian writing which people used before English and any other language came out. Now let's go to the famous Times Square. Times Square is a major commercial intersection, tourist destination, entertainment center, and neighborhood in Midtown Manhattan in New York City. It is formed by the junction of Broadway, 7th Avenue, and 42nd Street. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell.